Good morning, everyone, or happy time zone. Welcome to this amazing 5th day of Speedrun Ragnarok 2023. It's me, Sergeant Mug, and to kick off the day, we've got River City Girls 2, and with me is Bahamut. I don't want to waste any time because you all got up early and I got up early, so let's just get right into it. Please tell us about this game. I've never seen it before, and I'm looking forward to whatever it is we're gonna be in for.
Yeah, I'm super excited. This is River City Girls 2, the sequel to River City Girls, obviously, which was my first game for speedrunning. So I'm really excited to show this game off. It's so much fun, just like the first one. A lot longer, more moves, more juggling. It is hopefully going to be an exciting time to show you all this game. I'm really excited. Should we get started?
Yeah, please, feel free. You know exactly where time needs to start, so I'll let you, if you feel ready, just give yourself a countdown and let's get right into it.
All right. I'll go and count it down. So I'll go and start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
GL.
So, as you can see right there, if you've seen them play the first game, this takes place right after the first one ended when we kick Sabuko, which is Sabu's daughter, out of the window. And we're going back to school, and as you can see, it kind of, still the way it was when we left it the first time. Since this takes place, and afterwards, we have access to actually all 4 characters from the first game: Kunio, or Sako and Kyoko, and their boyfriends Kunio and Ricky. And something else that happened during the cutscene is that Sabu is very disappointed in her daughter for being kicked out the window, and so he actually breaks out of prison, and as you can see, has actually taken over the school in the town. And that is Ken, his adopted son. Sorry. Those who know Kunio-kun actually should recognize. Kind of looks like similar to somebody else. And we've been kicked out of school, and so we're just go home and play video games. 2 months later.
Oh my gosh, she played video games at home for a long time.
Just playing video games here, and the only reason why they get up off the couch is that that's Kyoko's mom, or Kyoko's house, is that, hey, there's a new vampire game. Oh, okay, let's go get the new vampire game. So that's how they get out of the house. So the basic mechanics are very similar to the first one. It's kind of a regular 3 combo, but you can do multiple times. And also, things kind of push forward a little bit more than the previous game, so you have to sometimes run if you want to keep juggling. There we go, and there's several differences which I really enjoy for this one versus the first one for the speedrun. One of them is we use recruits a lot in this sequel, which is awesome for different reasons. A lot of it is just a little bit more damage, but there's a couple other specific cases which actually help save some time, which I will point out later, which I think is really cool. So we're gonna we'll be changing the recruits a couple times, but not too many times though.
Maybe not do the fast part. My tummy doesn't feel so hot. Yeah, mine either.
One other thing that is, there's a lot of differences, but one of them is that there's definitely more focus on juggling and combos, and there's actually just kind of like how some funny games are. There's like a counter for how many times you hit, and you can hit them as much as you want, even when they're out of stamina, as long as they don't fall on the ground. Which, when we're careful, thankfully, when the enemy runs out of stamina, you hold a little ding, which indicates they're out of stamina, which is like, okay, time to let them actually drop to the ground, which is definitely important for speedrunning. And another thing I love about this, I'm going to get kicked in the hole here. Another thing I love is we actually use weapons a lot in this run, which is awesome too, which is, I think, is great because that's one of the big things about River City Ransom and Kunio-kun games is using weapons. This is another one I'm going to grab, and basically when there's only one enemy left on the screen, if you hit them enough times, eventually they'll beg to join, and kind of do it 2 times at a time. And eventually, hopefully she'll start begging here. a little difficult. There we go. The reason why I like this one is that she body slams whoever's in the ground, so it's great to do some extra damage while they're still in the ground.
Yeah, I like how your recruits kind of just spawn in like Pokemon.
Like the first game, you'll be eating lots of food. The first time you eat a piece of food, there'll be an attribute attached to it, like attack right here.
Sure thing. See you later.
We mostly focus on attack and agility, but we're also buying items that increase weapon damage as well, because we'll be using weapons a lot. And also, only the first time you eat a particular piece of food, you get that bonus. Afterwards, it's just stamina. So we're on our way to the video store to check out the new game.
Did I miss the explanation for why the cheerleader characters are here?
Oh, the cheerleader character. There's a lot of enemies from the first game, and I think several of them are from like the from high school. They're supposed to be characters from the high school. But I'm not sure if the cheerleader in particular, but we're gonna use the body slam. Should get looks like, okay, they didn't jump. But see the guy right there, that little NPC? That's another way to get recruits. One way to get recruits is by beating up with enemies, but you can also pay money to get recruits, and that's one of them. So, a lot more opportunities and a lot more options for recruits if you want to.
Yeah, that's a really fun twist on like kind of the standard, just like beat everybody up.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, it's there's lots of things that were in the first game, but for the speedrun we didn't use, which we do use in this one, which I really enjoy. And I like, gives it some variety, and see right there that I feel like the bench is the one that does the most damage for weapons, and it's kind of big, so if you can get two at the same time, you can save a little bit of time. There we go. And a couple more screens here, we'll be getting to the first boss. We got some more enemies to take care of. So if there's anything to talk about, I know we just started, but feel free.
Yeah, absolutely. So since it's the start of a new day for the marathon, it means we've got several new incentives and bid wars open for all of your donations to go towards today. Two of which is going to be 2 for Cities Skylines, which is coming up later this afternoon. And those 2 bid wars are going to be to select the map and to name the city. So you've got a plethora of opportunities to affect the run of City Skylines later. It looks like we've got 5 different options for the map and 5 different options for the name of the city. One of which is like maybe a potentially real or potentially fictitious city in Arizona with like the state abbreviation and everything, which I think is kind of funny. So please do feel free to get your donations in. Those just opened up as soon as we started the run this morning.
We really shouldn't.
City Skylines, that's awesome. I've never seen a city sim in a speedrun before. That should be exciting.
You know, I'm looking forward to it.
One more group of enemies and it'll be our first boss. And I can explain about it a little bit because I'll probably concentrate a little bit while doing the boss. But like the first game, there's 3 phases, and a lot of times there's like a special ability or something happens in between each phase. And a lot of times with Ken here, it's just mostly it's dodging his gun a lot, but occasionally he'll have his henchmen come and try to save him when he tries to run away, when you damage to him. So using our enemy or our recruits here. And so with here, there's I'll make sure I get over. Get right over. See, there's an open spot right there, and if you're careful, you can actually predetermine where that open spot is. Basically, wherever he finishes his stamina, whoops, is where the open spot will be. So I'm gonna probably concentrate a little bit here.
Alright, I'll ramble then. I think there's a lot
Please
of
do.
really cute visual details I've seen here already. Even just from this kind of like 90s movie theater floor here is such a cute touch. And the way the fighter girl uses her backpack, like her heart backpack as a shield. There's just a lot of, I think, really cute touches that I've been seeing here. And of course I love this full art during the dialogue and stuff like that. I'm gonna ask you later when you're not focusing about this game studio. 'Cause I've never heard of this game before, but it clearly seems like a lot of love and care went into it.
Oh, very much. If you're familiar, it's part of the Kunio-kun series, which is Japanese, but this was made in America by Way Forward, and they're probably most famous for the GD game series. I'm blanking on the name at the moment.
Yeah, and even the sprite animations are so expressive. I've really been enjoying it.
There we go.
Nice.
You messed with the wrong family.
Basically, he's gonna, the cutscene, he's gonna try to take us out, but then sword appears. It's like, ooh, someone's saving us.
That stopped Ken from killing us.
But we'll find out later it's actually Saboko, because she was quite embarrassed by her brother trying to take over. So throughout the game, it's basically Saboko helping us to help, make Ken embarrassed. So we're gonna finish. Have a couple pieces of agility food here. And what we're going to do is, first game you could save anywhere, but however it's different in this game. The only way you can save is autosave by changing rooms, or if you're actually in a safe house, you can also save and quit. But we're going to be doing a lot of save and quit back to the safe house, and there's different safe houses throughout the game, and we will be changing to the different safe houses, and that's going to be a way we're going to save chunks of time by basically kind of warping around the map when we want to. And see, we're back to the Kyoko's house, but we will be changing to the first different safe house here pretty soon.
You got like a house party going on in there.
Oh yes, very much. There's the other characters you can play, and then also all the recruits we have done so far are in that little room there, and you can always re-recruit. If you can tell there's the 2 recruits there. They each have a stamina bar. If they run out of stamina, if you go back to the safe house, you can grab them again. And one thing you can do sometimes with recruits is that besides having to do damage, if you're getting attacked and you do the recruit while being attacked, they could be a meat shield for you. And it can help save a little bit of stamina, and also your character will run away or back away. After we're done with this last group here, we'll be buying our first piece of extra abilities. I'm not going to buy a couple, or only going to buy a couple, I should say. But it's going to help us with juggling and doing extra damage, because we want to try to group up enemies as much as we can, because we hit enemies when they're together. So.
The one we kicked through the window. And we'll do it again if...
And yep, that's Saboko, who was the end boss, and Ken's sister. She is. I mentioned Ken is adoptive brother, but she is of Sabu's brother. She's Sabu's daughter. We're gonna buy some more food here, and I'm sure we're gonna go to the dojo. One thing we'll be using a lot of is turbo juice, and it's a temporary increase of agility, so it makes us go faster for a chunk of time.
Nice
I'm
one.
gonna buy 3 right now, but a little bit later we're gonna buy like 8 or 9. Because there are a few places where we're going to be like running back and forth, and so we're going to need some turbo juices to get to those areas a little bit faster. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to store this weapon food. We want to eat it eventually, but we take a bit more damage in this game than in the first one, so we kind of store the weapon food and use it as we need it. Get Nutcracker, which is the yeah, you can see why it's named that way. But it's the main ability we'll do to juggle enemies up in the air. So we'll be using that more. But still, when we can, we use the recruits. Like I said, they don't do a ton of damage, but they do a little bit, sometimes just enough, because occasionally there'll be an enemy where there's just like a little bit of stamina left. And soon here, we'll be coming to our first little mini game. First game was all just bosses to get through the game, but there's a lot of mini games in the main story quest here. And this is the first one where we attack a bunch of Yakuza trying to take money, and
Hurry up, you
we take the
goons.
money from them.
We gotta get
And if you've played the first game, the guy with the patch should be recognizable. He was at the end of the game guarding the blast door, or the door that we blasted. So you can, kind of the dumb minion. He just stands there when we put a bomb there at the end of the first game.
Someone takes away a kitten.
So again, I'm gonna concentrate a little bit here, make sure
Isn't it wrong to rob from a bank?
I don't. I can let some go by, but I try not to let too much go by.
I guess. But it's still not ours, right? Not yet, anyway.
So if you have something to talk about, feel free. If you got probably 30 seconds here if you want to talk about something.
Yeah, for sure. I have a little segue because I just was telling you about City Skyline, which is coming up later today. And as a result, one of the prizes that we've got available today is going to be a Steam Key bundle for City Skylines. So it's of course going to come with the base game, but it's also going to come with a ton of DLC. So you, right from the jump, you can create exactly any kind of insane city that you're dreaming of. And any dollar amount donation you make today is going to enter you to win that prize. So even just giving $1 instantly enters you to win the drawing to get not only the City Skyline Steam Key, but a few other prizes that we're offering today and our week-long grand prizes. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you've been wanting to give the game a try, if you already own the base game, but you want to get all that juicy DLC, like I said, even just $1 will get you entered to win that.
Awesome.
Well, that wasn't too tough. And hey, we made some cash too. I wonder why Sabu was trying to take over the town. You think too much.
So there's several times where we're going to have to wait for the dialogue to finish before we can go to the next room, which is different from the first game. There are several times where there was a dialogue where we can get around it by just say pudding and it'll stop it, but fortunately we gotta wait for some of those, and sometimes when that happens, we'll just fight some enemies and get a little extra money, a little bit of experience while we wait.
More customers. Okay, that's all you're going to buy?
So we're gonna go down this way. We're gonna briefly, I should say, I mentioned this game is a lot larger than the first game. The first game I would finish about an hour in a marathon. This one is gonna be, it should get under 2.5 hours, so it's a lot longer, a lot bigger. There's a lot map. The map is a lot bigger, and right now actually it is split up into 2 main paths, and we'll be going back and forth through a lot of it to get through it all, and it's for various reasons. So we're gonna get some attack power ones, and then store a weapon power one, and we're gonna use one of many turbo juices because we're gonna speed over to the next zone, which is, or I should say, the zone we're gonna go into for one of the branches called Downtown. And we're gonna briefly go into Uptown, but then curl back to the west into Downtown.
Back to Uptown again.
And soon as we enter Downtown, there's one of the things in the game to change abilities is accessories, and there's tons of accessories in the game that do different things, but we only focus on ones that do more damage. And one of them is this mouth guard, which we'll get inside here, and that increases damage but also does more damage to you, so we gotta be more careful with our stamina, which is another reason why it's nice to have some extra food, because we take more damage.
See you later.
And there'll be one other piece we'll get later, which exchanges agility for more attack power.
Huge fan that you can buy clown makeup in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's different. A lot less garbagey.
But Misako mentions that there's been some changes with compared to the first game. That's pretty much Downtown. The first game was all kind of, I mentioned, kind of garbagey, but this area anyway, which I don't think was in the first one, looks a little bit more, refurbished a little bit.
Don't touch him. He looks.
It's the
And this
sequel,
next room here will be another. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
more river, more city, more girls. Like,
Yep.
Mystery woman is that powder kid talked about? He mentioned legendary abs. Remember that shopkeeper with the platinum blonde hair from our last adventure? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So there's no point where we had to wait for that to finish. So like, hey, let's take out some enemies, and I got a level while I was waiting. So that's nice. Get that a little bit sooner.
oh my gosh,
So
the
there's a
little
lot of-
dogs are so cute.
Yep, that was I think those dogs in the first game too. A lot of areas from the first one, but some of them are moved around. But some of them are changed a little bit. Like that used to be in the empty down there because that was a trash compactor. And there was a little mini game in the first game where you have to take out a bunch of zombies, which the zombies are back. Which you'll see a little bit later.
Well, hey, look at you.
This next quest is that we're trying to get to the next area, and it's we need power. And so, actually, we need to go the other way. There'll be 3 places where we basically take a wrench and whack at a few electrical things to get the power going again. Which, seems legit, right? Whack a thing, makes it start working again. This one will be over here. And there's going to be a lot of quests like this where we have to like hit something either with a weapon or with our fists. And when that happens, we try to hit enemies at the same time so that we can focus on the task at hand, whether that or there's other things we'll be beating up on later in the game as well. We're going to be changing. One time we're going to be changing our recruits is actually this next area here. We're going to be getting a character from, if you know Double Dragon, Linda is an enemy from Double Dragon. We're going to be getting her as a recruit, which is very important, especially for the next boss, and also she's great to help starting combos and or like juggling. And actually, is she here? She is not. So I'm going to check once, and then she's not there a second time. I'll move on and look out for Linda a little bit later because we don't want to waste too much time. But I need Linda for the next boss to save some time. But we'll be coming back through here again. She's not showing up. She almost never not shows up. So, of course, that happens during a marathon, right? When something like rarely ever happens, yeah, it'll happen during a marathon.
Oh my gosh, first run of the day, and we already got this has never happened before.
Yeah. I remember my first time. This has never happened before. It was my first time doing a marathon with Varsity Girls 1 at Midwest Speed Fest in 2020, like right before the pandemic started. And I'll explain here in a moment, but this is the first time we'll be changing our home base. So you go back to home base either when you quit or if you die, you can either restart the last autosave or go back to the home base. And we'll be doing, like I said, we'll be quitting back to the home base many times. There's a Linda. But first we need to take care of the power here first, and then these guys will let me pick up a wrench. But then we'll get our Linda. And yeah, sometimes Linda is here.
Cosplaying Josuke from part 4 of JoJo with the hair and the purple. I like it.
Yeah. Oh, and she's by herself too, which is awesome. That's what about, because characters will only bag when they're by themselves. There we go, and we want this one. Okay, making sure I replace the right one. And we got our Linda, which is, like I said, very important for the next boss. And also she's great, which for starting juggling, either just to start or get an enemy away from the wall if you want them away from the wall. So she's very, very handy. And you can probably hear that in the background.
Oh my gosh, your little kitty.
Yep, that's Lana. Yep. She's a very old kitty. Yeah, she'll be 19 in April. So she's been a little needy this morning, so there's a chance she might want to go on my lap, and if she does, I'll pop her up briefly.
Oh, I hope we will be so lucky.
We got our last... Stuck there for a moment, that was weird. Last thing here. And we'll actually be doing our first warp here. But because we can't since we can't save on the spot, we go to the next room to autosave, and then we can quit and then go back to our safe house. And that's a Bobo. He's was a boss in the first game, but he's also most famously known for Double Dragon. We're back here. Now we go and turn in the quest, and then we'll be on to the next boss.
Nice, second boss already.
Yeah, a lot of bosses. But this next boss, man, it took me a while to even beat the first time, because it takes a while, and we'll see how it can be difficult for first timers, because it can be tricky. And one difference, among other things, is cars will go through like that. I'm usually good about avoiding, but I was in the center there. See, there's Linda. Now she's showing up.
We fixed all those generator thingies.
Oh, that's good. For like a half second, for a brief moment, you know how like you're doing a game and sometimes you're like, I'm pretty sure I completed the quest, but I'm not 100% sure? Because like you're kind of on autopilot, you're on autopilot, and especially if you're commentating at the same time. So autopilot commentary, like, I think I heard the sound.
You get to the end of the run and it says, congrats, 98%. Wow, what did I miss?
Oh, yes. I know what you mean. In the first game, this is where actually about where you would fight a Bobo. You would fight, drop down here. But things have changed. But the next boss is also from Double Dragon. So I think it's fitting that we get to fight a boss in down, well, actually just outside.
Still pretty dark in here. It's a subway.
Got meat in the face there. One thing about this is like when we do a lot of running, if you don't move up and down or jump, an enemy will actually line up with you and you will get this. So we really can't just run across. You have to be careful. And the shovel does pretty good damage here, which is awesome.
It's so satisfying just being able to whack people with the shovel. It kind of makes me want to play this game.
We should. It's quite fun. I heard the 2 stones there, so they're done. That should be the last one. We'll grab a couple here. After every stage where there's a lock, there's a nice piece of apple each time. So next boss here is, for those who know Double Dragon or play the first game, this is
See? Told you it was probably her. Legendary abs. I'll say.
Your life will now end.
Marianne. Just my mind was blanking there. And she's from Double Dragon, and she was in the first game in one of those shops. And here, she'll pound 3 times. You actually only have to jump the 3rd time. And this is the part that gets really tricky, especially the first time playing it, is this poison comes up and she's going to throw barrels at us. And the first bunch is only 1 at a time, which is a lot easy, but the last 2 times she'll be throwing 2 barrels at a time. And I gotta jump back and forth, which takes a little while to understand, figure out how far to jump. There's so many times where I would, jump too far or not enough. So I've a couple different ways I'll avoid the barrel. One of them is just jump back and forth, but especially when there's 2 barrels, I'll actually do a different ability. Because I want to go back to the center each time because she'll throw 2, which is this one. But you gotta be careful. It's you double tap forward and press a button, but you want to wait till like the last moment, or else you won't go far enough. And also, you can just time your jumps and avoid the barrels as well, but it's a little tricky to get that down. So you saw me use Linda there, which there isn't as important. But Aaron is going to concentrate here. I want to make sure she uses Linda the next time she falls, because it helps avoid one of her attacks. She uses time, so I'm going to concentrate here.
All right, you got this.
Tricky. Actually, it hit, but didn't take with it. If I hit just a little bit sooner, she would have stopped this attack from happening, which takes a little bit of time, so didn't do it quite fast enough. Which I believe is actually a bug, because there's a couple times where it's happened, and my screen is offset by a little bit. When I do that sometimes, where I hit it with Linda. So hopefully we get it the second time here.
I think it's a great trick that you can land on the same platform, like as long as you kind of move to the side, and you can land even while the explosion is kind of like fading away without taking damage. That's a good trick.
There we go. Actually, I missed with Marion, but I was still able to hit her, which I've never been able to do. Usually, if you hit her, normally she'll do that attack, so that was first time that's happened.
Nice. That has never happened before.
Yeah, we got twice so far.
Next thing I knew, I was here with you two, getting my...
But I'll take it though, because that saves a few seconds from preventing her from doing that attack that makes her go back and forth, which is nice. So we're going to continue on the northern path here, up to the end, and then we'll be switching down to Uptown for a bit.
No way. We gotta help Marion find whoever put her under that spell.
So there's a chance I got probably about 30 seconds here if anything to talk about or if any donations.
Yeah, absolutely. We did get $20 in from Racco Dactylus, which potentially I butchered, who says, "Good luck to all the runners today." And that $20 did go towards our ongoing target in City Skylines, which is to destroy the city with natural disasters at the end of the run, which puts us at $70 out of that $250 target. And like I said, City Skylines is coming up later today, so that means we've just got several hours to get to that target of $250. So thank you, Racco, for that donation.
Out of these woods and we
Nice.
died here.
Oh.
I'll have no regrets.
That's another one that's number 3 that's never happened before. I
Oh,
fell out of the ground.
Creepy woods, but that's it.
This is a forest that's a maze. If you don't know where to go, you can get lost, but obviously you know exactly where to go. And we're going to use this juice right here to jump across this area.
OMG, the zombies are like marching band members.
Nobody likes to know.
Yeah, a lot more zombies in this game. Yeah, those are zombies, and there's also the regular zombies, like they were in the first game. And zombies, again, the regular zombies, not those zombies, but just plain zombies, aren't really much of a threat, but they're more annoying in this one. They take a little bit more hits to take out, and they can hit you a little bit. So we'll be coming across those more a little bit later. Graveyard here, and the boss we'll be doing is in this.
This must be near where she passed out. Come on,
Have
let's
to go
keep
up.
going.
There we go. But we're gonna grab this quest for a little bit later.
Hey, it's that skeleton shopkeeper with the
And that's Skullamageddon.
This character is cute.
Yeah, he's I think he's also from Double Dragon, I think, and he was also in the first game too. He was a shopkeeper in the first game in Uptown, but he's over here this time. We're gonna move a little bit over to in the same zone, or the same area, I should say, to a bus stop, and we're gonna head back to Crosstown and do a bit more shopping, and then go into Uptown for a while. A little bit of a campground area here. Some more food, and we're gonna get as I mentioned, we're gonna get a bunch more turbo juices because we're gonna need them a bunch in Uptown. And get one more ability from our dojo. And there's so many references to Kunio-kun games, to Double Dragon. Obviously, that's Jimmy from Billy and Jimmy Lee from Double Dragon. His brother is a different part of the town. And let's make sure I grab the right one.
Dad, let's go beat up the world, dude.
Lightning
I
Rider,
love
which
the
is
backpack fling attack. Yeah, that rules.
Yep, I'll be using that a lot. That's kind of a big damage dealer, especially whether we have one or more enemies. We'll be using that a lot, and that takes SP power, so that's a limited resource. All right, I'm gonna make sure I count this right. Oops.
Nice one. Okay.
2, 3,
Nice one. Nice
4,
one. Okay.
5, 6,
Good choice.
7,
Nice
8.
one. Nice. See you later.
Go back towards the east here to the uptown. The next, I'll say it in a little bit. The next mini game we'll be doing is beating up a bunch of coin machines, Yakuza coin machines, to get coins because we need to get into the arcade in order to progress the story. And we'll be getting that quest here. But this is the point where we're going to do lots of running. So definitely, if there's anything you want to say, got a little, probably better, maybe 30 seconds to a minute here.
Okay, I do have something that I want to say, but it's completely unrelated to the marathon. In the store earlier, there was this food that you could buy that was called a grapple, and it just unlocked this like core childhood memory of buying grapples at the grocery store, which were like hybrid like apples and grapes, but they didn't like, there was nothing grape-ish about them. They just looked like apples, but they allegedly like tasted like grapes. Did you ever like eat them? I like kind of forgot they existed.
They still exist. You saw them recently, huh? I haven't seen them for a little while, but yeah, I do remember when they showed up. I feel like not 20 years ago, but I think 2000s I first saw them. It's like, yeah, it's like, ooh, hybrid apple and grape, and it sort of tasted grape-ish, but almost kind of like a, not almost like a fake grape, if I remember right. So it was kind of a cool, novel idea. I think back when genetic stuff was kind of like talked about in the news a lot, but yeah, it was okay. Did you have one too?
I did. I kind of missed them. I think I really liked them.
You did? Oh, did you fix them up then when you saw them at the store recently?
Yeah, I should try and find them. That's it. That was my personal comment that I had to make. Oh, this is great art too. Her here in the ramen shop. That's so cute.
I believe that's from Guilty Gear. Actually, there's they came in. I think there's another one that's another character from Guilty Gear fighting games. Now this is where we need to get into, which is where the next boss will be. Yeah, another character that looks like a Bobo, and Misako calls him a Boo-Boo. We're going to do another warp here, but we have to go to the next room to autosave, and then we'll grab the quest from Kunio's friend, and we'll be beating up on some coin machines here. But yeah, I really like, this is a great way to warp around. There's one right near the end of the game, which will be very crucial because it saves like, I feel like at least a minute and a half, not 2 minutes, because it's like, different sizes of the game that we get to do that warp, I like to say. So that'll be important to make sure we change their home base at that time, which is still a little bit later. So now we have, as mentioned, 3 coin machines with the beat up on, and like the when we had to beat up on the electrical thing with a wrench, we're going to try to do these at the same time as hitting enemies, or, this is actually nice, sometimes, and I'll do this a little bit later for another quest, is get him to beg, and then he'll leave me alone for at least a while.
Oh yeah, that's a good trick.
But then I hit it one too many times.
Yeah, well that works too.
Yeah, that happens. But also, the enemy can hit the coin machine too. Of course, they don't do it on purpose, but their hits is, count as well towards it.
Nice. Yeah, so I guess it's okay that you would cause like an enemy spawn because they can kind of help too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially if you can kind of keep them on one side. There we go. There we go. just one more pixel. That's a little precise on those to pick up those coins. And I mentioned those are the regular zombies, and as mentioned, they are, don't really do much damage, but they're more annoying. They take more hits, and sometimes they might, stay. And this happens with other enemies too. Like there's a certain point, like if they're like next to the coin machine, but they don't move around. It's like, yeah, stay there. Feel free to stay there. Stay, zombie.
They're so
Stay.
cooperative.
Oh, it's nice when they cooperate.
I don't like them as much as the marching band zombies, but I do appreciate their commitment to the teamwork here.
Another 5 coins. You think these are good anywhere else?
Right, one more coin machine, which is far enough away. We're going to use turbo juice. I've already used probably 4 or 5 already in this game, and we got 4 or 5 left. And once we do get all the coins we need, there'll be our next mini game, which should look like a very familiar dance music game. Once we get there. We'll see if we have an enemy by itself. Sometimes that happens, or it's a group of enemies. It kind of definitely is not, because we have an enemy by himself. Nice. Sometimes if you do like a big hit like that, they might beg. Nope, they didn't beg that time. Or I think it was actually going to stay, but my kick went through, which happens too. Or I can keep them on one side. Yes, stay on that side.
Nice.
And there's this. There we go. That's all the coins.
And 5 more coins makes 20.
You mean 15.
15 makes 20?
Math isn't your strongest subject.
Kyoko knows how to count well.
She's doing so great.
And both characters, especially Kyoko, are very smart. One of the many things about this game, the previous game, is the characters talking to each other and the little quips they do, and you don't get to see it very much in the speedrun. Is a lot of the game they do a lot of fourth wall breaking, which I love fourth wall breaking, and so you don't get to hear it much with the speedrun. There'll be one later which you'll hear a bunch of, but yeah, it's pretty fun when it happens.
Yeah, that's cute.
Now the arcade is open. You'll notice like the door is going to be briefly open on the right there, and it's going to lock.
There's that dancing machine.
And I feel like that's a tease, because I'm like, if I was just like slightly fast enough, I can get in the door before it locks. But nope, haven't been able to get there.
Yeah, you think there's any like tool-assisted way that it's possible?
Oh, I don't know. No one's done any tests with these games yet, but yeah, maybe like if you do the very first frame, maybe you could do it. But yeah, this should look like a very familiar music game.
Oh my gosh, when I saw this in your notes, I was like, I'm so excited for this part.
And each time you do it, it's the same one. And I always thought like maybe someday, if I do this well enough, that I could maybe someday have it as an incentive to do it blindfolded if I got it memorized.
That would be so cool.
But not memorized now. Maybe someday. But definitely is doable if you do it enough times. Last stage here, which is the music, which I'll say that just like the first game, the music from this game is amazing. Megan McDuffie is the main composer and singer. I think there's some other ones though too. And the music, if you have Spotify, it is on Spotify, and I think other ones too, but Spotify is free, so a great way to listen to music if you enjoy the soundtrack. Both soundtracks are on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out.
Almost missed one there.
did it! Even easier than real.
So now we're, oops, one sec here. Just moving a couple windows around quick. Okay, my mind was wandering there for a moment because I was moving a window around. Now we're going back up to the north, and actually before we do, we're gonna go back here quick. I'm gonna buy one piece of food, well, food, because you should actually recognize the item that's in here.